G'day guys, I'm back. It's Vaughan here from the Mental Wheels Foundation and the Sit Up Challenge. If you were just logged on, we had a little bit of a technical glitch, so I've had to start again. I'm going to do the intro again because it's worth doing the intro. Today's a very, very special guest. It's going to be a cracking little chat. He's a long-time supporter of the Mental Wheels Foundation. He's an avid lover of sport and a massive passion for rugby and cycling. He's the Managing Director of HVACR Supplies. He's over 17 years of senior sales experience and a diploma in marketing management. He's also a bloody good mate of mine, and a very good mate to many, many others out there. His name is Hamish McLean, and let's just jump him in here now. We sometimes... Typically, she goes off the air for a few seconds and then comes back on the air, but just give it a few seconds and we'll get Hamo into the chat. Oh, don't you love technology? 6 in a row. Oh, here we go. What's happening?
Sorry, mate.
Hi, mate.
I don't know what happened there.
Neither do I. What's going on? We'll try it again. I've just relaunched. Boom, straight in.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
I think we were talking tailbones.
Yeah.
Tailbones and abadabbas. My tailbone's sore.
Yeah, I was actually talking to the big G, Gareth Pike, who's one of our founders and the CEO of the Mental Wheels Foundation this morning, and he's got a little bit of carpet rash from the on his lower spine there from trying to punch out his sit-ups every day. So yeah, it's good fun. Well, hopefully.
Yeah,
Mate, let's just jump into it. You have been involved with the Mental Wheels Foundation for a number of years, and you're committed to giving back to the community. I know that you help coach a lot of the local sporting clubs up there. You've been involved in rugby. You've been involved in the life saving and all that sort of stuff. Tell us, I guess, how you got involved with the foundation, and I guess any experiences or stories that inspired you to be an advocate for mental health.
Oh, geez. You know a fair bit about me. To be frank, I came out of being a family man. So I was always active when I was young, and my family being raised, and I had a mate suggest to me that I ride in an event for Black Dog Adelaide to Darwin, Tourex Oz, and I went, oh, that sounds really interesting. So I went away as a rider. I liked the sound of that as an adventure, and it was up my alley. Black Dog was a charity that was committed to, and I was exposed to the layers of people within the mental health space that are directly or indirectly working towards best outcomes. So I came back more than a bike rider from that one event. So many good people involved, and the layers, like there are, as you know, lots of layers there. And what's going on in our community. So for me personally, friends and community are what we're all about. And we all have to take some responsibility for adding and contributing to that, as you never really know when you might need help. No one's bulletproof, and we're all human at the end of the day. So in answer to how to get involved in mental wheels, at the time I was super busy with my young family and spinning plates, running a business, and I had involvement with the Surf Lifesaving Club in summer, and I was coaching football in winter. And I met Gareth at a movie event under the stars at Longreef Headland. We had a good friend invite Tana, myself, my wife and I down to watch that, and I got talking to Gareth, and he was telling me a bit about the charity and how there was a number of bike riders and they wanted to set up a bike riding event. And I mentioned that I'd been on a few by that point, and he said, "Can we catch up and have a coffee? And you guys do amazing coffee." So I did, and I think, is it the 4th or the 5th charity ride that I've been involved with you guys now? Yeah.
Yep.
So that's how I got involved in Mental Wheels. Personally, I've got a number of people who I love who face mental health issues. Some have acknowledged their position and have great plans in place to live their best lives. To me, everyone should be able to enjoy and live their best lives. And as they say, if we can improve just one person's life, then it's worthwhile. But to be frank, we can do a lot more than that. And I think we can optimise it in what we do, and improving many lives motivates me.
Unreal, mate. And look, you are, as you mentioned, you are the owner of your own business, and you've been a senior sales executive and running teams, and you've got, bandits like Grady, who's just made a comment that he reckons you should do your 66 sit-ups live. Mate, can you share some insights into how, organisations like yours better support the mental well-being of their employees?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. For me, I've always loved the position of running an SME. SMEs make up more than half of Australia's workforce, so there's lots of small businesses around. And I've always employed on certain qualities beyond the required skill set. And the two that stand out, or the three that stand out for me most in people, are attitude, loyalty, and being humble. Attitude's everything, as that equates to wanting to learn and be motivated to learn more every day. Being humble generally means you're ready to contribute at any level. So with that tight connection with a small to medium-sized team, I can be engaged directly with each employee and understand them. We can share our lives based on trust, and I can mentor them into any capacity for their betterment.
Yeah, mate. Beautiful. I've actually, and we should probably actually talk a little bit about this. You and your good mate and partner in crime, Reggie, put on some pretty fantastic golf days for the foundation. And the last golf day, I was fortunate enough to work with some of your team, including the big grade monster, Grady, and they're fantastic humans. Mate, we're going to be doing the golf day again this year.
Yep, we're on, definitely. We've got it booked in at Cromer again. The course was sensational, and they are running a PGA event the week before or the week after. So it's going to be in pristine condition when we hit it very soon. I was just thinking about that over the weekend. I've got to formalise an invite and get that out so that people can lock it into the calendars.
Yeah, it's a fantastic day. This will be your third golf day, fourth?
I'm going to say 4. I should know the answer to that, but COVID has disrupted it.
Threw us a few curveballs.
Yeah, I mean, the idea was we would. I've always enjoyed organising golf days, and amongst my mates that I grew up with, I played, cricket, surfed, played footy with. People would bring their own kids along. And dads. My dad, unfortunately, doesn't play anymore. But it's just a great. I love the idea of 4-man Ambrose format, where you can have a few beers, have a laugh, try and be competitive. And if you play well, you are competitive, and then you get back in the clubhouse and share a few beers, and we put on a bit of entertainment for everyone afterwards, which I need to work with you on in terms of what we're going to put on. Sean and I got together. We're thick as thieves. We've done, been business owners and mates for a long time, and we do a lot of this stuff together. Reggie's very social, as am I, and we enjoy it. We the plan was to do it once and then sort of hand that model over to someone else, but it's just us, and it's something I like doing. The surf life-saving stuff's come off, and I've got more time up my sleeve, and it's the one thing that I do look as a key contribution to Mental Wheels, in and amongst other stuff.
Yep. I'm off script already. Sorry, Hamo. Because the other thing I wanted to quickly chat to you about is one of the things that you introduced me to, which just happened at a real key moment and point in my life, is obviously the old Anzac 300. I think for everyone out there, basically the Anzac Day is really important to me, and because of my dad. It's close to the same time when my dad passed away, and Hamo invited me 2 years ago for my first one, and this year was my second one. give us a little, I guess, snapshot about that event, and because it's 300 kilometres on a bike. It's not just a physical challenge; it's a pretty big mental challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Most of those, we just had Sean's brother. So he's a smasher, and we call him yesterday's hero because he likes to gloat about lots of performances that he did a long time ago. But he's still one of those hardheads, which I love, and he'll pick off an event. And he went and ran 170 kilometres with 10,000 metres of vertical over the weekend. It was called the Mont Blanc UTB mountain run or whatever. It's phenomenal. Colossal effort. And so the Anzac 300 is kind of based around that. It's a bunch of mates and it's by invite only. We've got some amazing humans in the Smashfest crew that I ride with, and I can see some of them are listening. And we basically assemble at about 4 a.m. in the morning at Belrose Bunnings, and we hoof off up the coast, and we've got to do some ins and outs to get our 300 in or more. Everyone's sort of trying to stretch that out to get their longest rides in, but yeah, you've got to be physically conditioned to do that, but you really need your brain or your mind to take you to the end point. And that's the learnings from doing stuff like that. I learned a long time ago in terms of how to become resilient. For me, it's always been sport, whether it's been individual or team sports. You learn so much from sport. So yeah, I love riding, and that's what the Anzac's about.
Yeah, brilliant, mate. And I guess, the thing that really rang true for me is, I guess, many professionals and many people in their life, they suffer and they face immense pressure, whether that's in their professional role or within their family role. Have you got any, I guess, strategies or practices that you sort of, I guess, engage in for yourself when the stresses are high?
Yeah, for sure. But firstly, can I say, not all humans are not built resilient. You're not born resilient. And so that's something that you have to learn. And for some people, it takes a long time, and others are, less time. And it's almost like a piece of steel. The hotter the environment, the more resilient you become. And so, it's not nice. Some people become resilient through bad circumstance. As a kid, I was like most. I had little understanding of the world and was told what to do. And I got bullied. I think everyone got bullied. I think the statistics are 95% of kids get bullied. For some reason, there's this perception of a very small percent of as a person that gets bullied. But 95% of kids, roughly, don't quote me on that, get bullied at school. And that's all part of the process of growing up. And I only learned through hard times to become galvanised and grow in self-belief. That came to me in probably my late teens and early adulthood. I became aware I was trying to deal with too much and decided I needed to focus on myself and my young family, which I did. But then I learned plenty through my active lifestyle. Like I mentioned, I've always loved sport, and beyond the team sports, I became immersed in events like challenges. I don't know why, I just wanted the challenge, and chased Ironman with Reggie, multi-sports with Reggie, endurance paddling and running. And just doing that, you learn a lot about yourself. There is no talking up a certain time. You either do it or you don't. And so can't be a pretender in some of those sports. You can't talk yourself into a good time. You've got to go and do it. So the only way to do that is through hard work, and you peel all those layers back in training, and you certainly start to realise who you are and what you want to be. So for me, professional stress is something I strive on after a lot of practice. But what I do know, what I do have as a strategy in work is that if I'm tired, I know I'm generally not going to make great decisions. So I'll switch off, and that might be early or it might be late. There's no set time on that. And, I switch off, go into my home time, might go to bed early, but, I will wake up refreshed and not know that I can, make the best decisions at that point. And I also believe that the mind's amazing and you can generally work out a solution. And if you can't, you get a great friend or a business mentor to assist, because you can't do it all. Hence, team value and culture. And the best strategy or deal doesn't have to come from me in a professional sense. I'm comfortable with that.
And mates, taking an extra step into that, like you've said quite a few times, you're definitely a family man. You're an avid cyclist. You enjoy being social. Talk us about how you manage, your business, your family life, and your personal fun in your life.
What I learned is, and I've chatted with another mate of mine who I'm close to, and he takes on a lot. We've both worked out you can only do 3. If you want to do things well, you can only do 3 things at a time. Sometimes for a very active person, you can do 4 things, but generally that can only be for a short time, say for 12 months tops. So for me, at the moment, my family is one of those things, and that's always number 1. And then 2, my work, and 3, at the moment, my cycling. I've wanted to commit a couple of years ago to become a really consistent with my cycling and not try and jump around. A bit of swimming and a bit of this and a bit of that.
Unreal. And mates, I was also going to talk about, we've got our tour, a couple of tours coming up as well. We're going up to Queensland in when is that? October, late October.
Yep.
How often are you? Yeah, next month, not too far away. How often do you get out on the bike? And how often is the training in a group format, and how much is the training on your own?
Oh, okay. So we've just reformatted yesterday. I personally, I learnt when I was a young kid, I needed to do 4 sessions a week, just make me feel good, getting to know some of these guys like, Dr. Titoff and the other guys that are the professors in these universities, they break that down into a physiological sense or biological, how your body works, and you get the endorphins running. So I've always aspired to do 4 sessions a week. That became super hard when you had a young family, because you were not cutting corners. You had very limited time, and the sessions you were doing then just couldn't build to where I certainly wanted to be. And I've always sort of aspired to be super fit. That becomes harder as you get older. So it's been a journey back from my family growing up. I've still got a young daughter, but sort of Tan and I are starting to get some time back in our life. So yeah, 4 times a week. We would split that at the moment. We got TT, team time trial stuff going on. We need to get 2 sessions in a week, and so I'd split it down the middle, 50-50.
Yep, cool. All right, mate. Well, I've got a little thing that we do at the end of these sessions. I told you this is going to go fast. We've already been going for 25 minutes nearly. So it's called the Fast Big 5. Obviously, it's built around the Big 5, which is the research that we've been conducting with Macquarie University. You know it all too well, but for everyone out there, the Big 5 are 1, meaningful activities, 2, healthy thinking, 3, goals and plans, 4, healthy routines, and 5, social connections. I'm going to hit you with 5 questions. Answer them as fast as you can. Are you ready to go?
Ready to go.
What is one thing you try to do every day that you truly believe in?
Contribute in any way to yourself or someone else.
Name one thing that happened this week that was less than perfect, but perfectly okay.
So technically not this week, but in the last 7 days, I had an employee leave my company.
What is one goal you set and then achieved that gave you great fulfillment?
To raise my kids and own a nice family home.
Give me one part of your morning or evening routine that you can't live without.
Coffee.
Tell me about one conversation you had this week that made you feel really good.
How a work colleague is staying focused on doing his sit-ups. He's got a young family. I've been there, and it's hard to try and find the trigger to get some exercise done. So he's doing his sit-ups and I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, unreal. Mate, the sit-up challenge, actually, it's been, well, obviously we've got through our first weekend, and from personally, like just trying to get out there and get people on board, has been a really interesting journey for me. I think, the more I think about the real numbers behind suicide attempts in this country, and even, looking at the latest data from Lifeline and the number of calls they get, it's absolutely out of control. And so the work that we're currently doing with Professor Nick Titov and Macquarie University and MindSpot, and starting to try and find these intervention programs to stop people to getting that low is so important. So I want to encourage everyone out there who's already on the sit-up challenge to make sure you invite your 6 friends, because that's how this little baby works. They invite 6, and then they invite 6, and they invite 6, and we keep rolling it out to get to our goal of getting to 10,000 people doing sit-ups. Mate, you got any final words for us?
No, it just goes back to an old adage that I always live by. And, you talk about sport, team culture, or professional team culture, and that adage of 1 and 1 equals 3 is really powerful. And when you talk about, 6 and 6 turns into this, and, what we're doing, I mean, this is just year 1. So yeah. I think it's awesome in terms of what the foundation's done with this sit-up challenge. And I think it will grow enormously. So well done.
Thanks, mate. One last reminder for everyone out there, we are going to break the world record on the 24th of September. We're going to have live sites here in Sydney, one up in Port Macquarie, one in Toronto, and one in New York. We're going to get, the current world record is 2,005 people. We're going to smash that. And we're going to have the most number of people doing sit-ups at anyone on coach. That's on the 24th of September. See our website for more details, situpchallenge.org. Hamo, always a pleasure, mate. Can't wait to go for a ride or a sneaky beer in the near future.
Yeah, I'm in for all of that.
Cool, mate. Thank you. Yow.
Bye, thanks.